Hi there, guys. It's Michael from Age of Empire here, and I'm here with a progress report on how Company of Legends is going. So, with further ado, I'll get started. Basically, this is a little update just to say how we're doing, what we're doing, and how it's coming along, just to keep you guys in the loop. We'll also be putting this on the website and as a downloadable PDF as well. So, let's get into it. So the first subject I want to touch on facilities and food. This is the part of the event that we are wanting to improve the most. Now we want this to be the best residential weekend gaming event in the UK. And so this year we stepped up in terms of what we're trying to offer. Now the venue had issues last year with the number of tables. To cover ourselves and ensure there are also tables in the dining hall, which we were lacking last year, we've hired tables in. And we've made sure that these don't have a lip around the edge. This means the tables will be all identical, the right size and flat. Now, one complaint we had from the Sons of Horus was that our coffee was a bit subpar. Now, we've taken that on board, and thus we're going to be offering a choice with the coffee. Instant coffee will still be available and included in the ticket price, but we'll also be offering a better coffee made with a Tassimo machine. Now, you can get a Costa Latte for £1 and a Costa Americano for 50p. These will be available from the Tuck Shop, which Megan and Lindsay are kindly running again for us this year, along with the kitchen. The menu is still under construction, as it were. It's almost finished. And like last year, it will be hearty with a mince dish, hot dogs, and a pasta dish likely being on offer. If you do have any dietary requirements, please email companyoflegends@edgeofempire.co.uk so we can make sure your needs are accommodated. We don't want someone turning up on the day and then informing us that they're a vegan, as happened this year. We want to make sure your dietary needs are catered for, and we can only do that if you tell us in time. Now, once again, we aren't getting a license for the weekend, so you're free to bring your own alcohol. We do ask that you drink responsibly, though. In terms of the gaming program, we have secured the services of Durham Raiders narrative genius Adam Sellers, although I think that Hull Angels might be wanting to claim him as their own, seeing as he lives closer to them now to write the narrative for the weekend. Now, we have developed a branching narrative where what happened in the previous game will influence what the next game is, a sort of like a choose your own adventure book. Now, it's almost finished, but we're keeping it under wraps as we don't want to spoil anything, and we really want you guys to help us write the story of what happens throughout the weekend. Now, most of the missions we'll be using will be core missions. We tried to experiment with some of the legendary missions in 2017, and while some of them worked, some of them didn't. So we're keeping it quite simple as yet, but there will be a sprinkling of Shadow Wars missions in the mix. There'll be an advanced briefing at 9 o'clock on the Friday night for people who want to know how the branching narrative and the strategy phases will work, and that will allow people to hit the ground running on Saturday morning. In terms of the event pack, we're still considering what to do about this. The guys at 30k Frontier really gave us food for thought on this one with the way they did things, so we're considering stealing their idea and doing an event pack similar to the way they did theirs. Now, what we mean by that is the players were provided with a folder containing all the information for the event, and then we were building up, adding in the story and missions that are being played. We'll still be providing a actual event pack, and it's a PDF prior to the event. I'm working on that as we speak. Once all the details are finalised, we'll get that out there, but it won't contain any information about the missions, so we don't give the game away. I'll be working on the event pack in the next. Well, I'm still working on it, and hopefully we'll have it up online within a week, because it's something that a couple of you have requested. Onto the awards. Now, Company of Legends is not a tournament, and as such, the awards reflect that attitude. We think these are the awards that we're going to be offering, but this isn't a final list. We've got the Emperor's Champion, which is open to loyalist players. It's based on what the organisers feel was the best player during the weekend, so pulling out shock results, all-round awesome gaming, stuff like that. And then its equivalent on the traitor side is the Despoiler. We also have the Artificer Award. Now that's a prize that you guys will vote for. So the army receiving the most votes from players will be and it will be judged on the Saturday at lunchtime. So anyone hoping to win that should display their army suitably after the first game. Now we've also got a painting award, the Artisan. So the Artificer is more for the player's choice, as it were, for the best army. The Artisan is a painting award, and that's going to be deemed by a painting judge at the event. The judge will be a specified person who will not be allowed to have their army considered for the award if they're playing. So there'll be a single person who we feel is an expert-ish in painting, and they'll be judging the award for that one. We also have the Paragon Award, which will be given to the player receiving the highest sports score, and the Historiographer. This one's still in the fluff, but there's possibly another one to go in there. But this will be awarded to the player who brings along the best written fluff for their army. If you wish to be considered for the prize when you submit your army, include it with it. Now, in terms of prizes, we aren't sure what we're doing. We've done a few things in the last couple of years we've run it. Last year, for example, the prizes were a Durham Raiders mug, and we may do the same thing this year, but try and put some actual tea bags in them this time. Now, we do have a copy of McCragg's Honour, which has been signed by Niels Roberts, the artist. So that's a possible prize. But if we use that, then we have to find some equally awesome prizes for the other awards. So that's a quandary. On to evening entertainment. Now, on Friday and Saturday evening, we'll be running the Great Segmentum Primarch off, in which we're inviting you to bring down your Primarch, and we'll run some one-on-one games of pure Primarch combat to determine once and for all who the first among equals is. And yes, if you want to bring them along, because you'll probably ask, you may bring along Valdor and Scoria as well. Onto the media side of things, throughout the weekend, we will be taking photos and filming video to use for promotional purposes and to publish on social media to show what a great time we're having. So if you'd rather not have your photo published, then please email us at companyoflegends@edgeofempire.co.uk. Now, after a recent successful experiment with live streaming and some encouragement from the Warhammer community team, we will be live streaming some games from the event over YouTube and Twitch, and if the budget allows, Facebook too. If your game is on the live streaming table, we'll be fitting you with a microphone so the audience can actually hear you and your opponent's witty banter. Again, if you would not like to be featured on the live stream, then please email us at companyoflegends@edgeofempire.co.uk. Now, we will be recording some segments for Edge of Empire during the weekend, so we might grab one or two of you and shove a pair of headphones on you and put you in front of a microphone. Only with your permission, of course. At least two of the podcasts are sending people along. Sorry, free podcasts. I should add, actually. Yeah, free. So they may also want to grab you as well, and we'll be allowing them to use the studio we're setting up for that. Onto paperworks and event passes. One thing that became glaringly obvious last year was people were a little wary of giving honest sportsmanship scores because of the layout of the scoring sheet. It meant that it was still with you and people could see what was going on there. Now, we've learned the lesson, and we've developed a new scoring sheet, which we've based on that used by the Darlington Dogs of War. Basically, when you submit your scoring sheet, we remove the section for the game you just played, so there's no danger of your opponent seeing what you scored them during the event. In my spare time, I've been drafting and I think I've completed the event pass that we'll be using. This is to respond from a comment from both of our previous events and to comply with some security regulations for the site. So your pass will identify who you are, what army you're playing, and your lanyard colour will show what side you're on as well. Now, if you do want to get in touch with us for whatever reason, especially if it's access related or about dietary requirements, then you can email us at companyoflegends@edgeofempire.co.uk, or you can message us on Facebook. And if you're interested in sponsoring Company of Legends, then please email sponsors@edgeofempire.co.uk, because we always welcome sponsors. Thank you for listening, and I hope you haven't found this too boring, and I'll see you in March.